I think even if I have that cover tight and it's really raining hard, it's still going to stay dry inside. It's got a rubber seal around it. I'm going to give you a tour of this box just to see, and then I'll watch it later on tonight, just to see how good this camera works for, you know, pointing things out and stuff. Let's start with the power. So I have a cord coming in over here. I've got it plugged into my inverter on my boat. So it's 110 volts going in. And then I've got 2 power strips in there, and every single outlet on the power strip, which each of them has about 6, I would say, is used. So that's the power. One power strip goes across this side on the bottom and one goes across that side on the bottom. And then out of that power strip, I have 110 volts going through the normal adapter that comes with this PC. That's the Geekcom. It's the AMD processor. It's an i9, and then it's got the AMD graphics. It's their version of a graphics card. I guess it's graphics card. That's being powered out of one of the 110 volt outlets. And then I have another one going to this little box here, which is my batteries for the camera on my head, which is a DG action camera. And I got 2 extra batteries in there, and they're charging all the time. This is the battery, extra battery and charger for the overhead Insta360 camera. So that's being charged all the time. And then this device is a Solo Pro. It's a Live U Solo Pro. And what that's doing is it's bonding the signal. It's my output of my stream is going to that device, and then that device is broadcasting the stream on 4 different modems, plus my Starlink satellite dish that you can see up above on the back here when you go to the overhead shot. So there's about 7,000 gigabytes per second being sent out, and about 1,300 is on each one of the 5 different sending units, basically. So we got signal going out on the modems and signal going out on the Starlink, and then that signal gets bonded together again at some place, some server somewhere, and then it's being sent to Restream, which is a cloud-based software system that is managing my chat, and it's also broadcasting the signal out to Facebook, Kick, Twitch, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I can do 5 at a time. Sometimes I switch it to Instagram or X. Let's go back to this scene right here. I really should be sometimes talking into the camera here. Okay, so then up here is a Sony 3000X action cam, and that can zoom, and I've got it on I don't know what these are called, kind of a flexible mount, so that I can turn it down. I can do a checkers cam with it. Let's see if can we see checkers? Yeah, I can do a face cam, or I can actually do a shore cam also, like just turning it that way. Then I've also just got a webcam from my computer mounted up here. And that's so that I can have my face in the shot and checkers sometimes. So this music's getting a little loud. Okay, so then I have my iPhone, which has this 360 cam up above on a 9-foot selfie stick, invisible selfie stick. And so that's my iPhone is Wi-Fi'd to that camera, to that Insta360 camera, and then it's also plugged into an HDMI adapter. Let's see, I think I've got to fix that. The HDMI adapter has a USB-C port, which I plug in off of the power strip. I plug in a charge cord. And then I also plug in an HDMI cord, and that HDMI cord goes to this YOLO box switching device right here. That's where I control my scenes and go from one camera to another, and I can go to the live scope. Let's see, I'm at 20 feet and our water's 31, and there's no fish on that line, and there's no fish on that line. So that's one of the phones. Then I have an older Android phone, which is Wi-Fi connected to the camera on my head. And then that has the same kind of HDMI adapter plugged into it, and another USB-C, so therefore those phones are being charged all the time. So I don't have to worry about those batteries going dead ever. And then that one has an HDMI cord also that goes to my YOLO box. Here's my 4 inputs on the YOLO box, and then here's the output, HDMI output. And then I also have a USB here which goes to that webcam. So basically I've got 5 ins and 1 out, and the YOLO box combines it all. Pretty decent device. It's called a YOLO box. It's called a YOLO Live is the company. The device is called a YOLO Box Ultra. I'm a little bit off course here, so I gotta do some steering. Then I have I got the iPad here, and that has the live scope on it, and that iPad is Wi-Fi'd to my Garmin GPS map chart plotter. That's the one I've got up high here, and it's Wi-Fi connected. Now, one problem that I got to solve, I'm not sure how to do it yet, but I can't even go to the front of the boat. What I want to do is be able to take one of these phones and put it on my chest and have it Wi-Fi'd to the chart plotter, and I can look at it while I'm up on the bow, either fishing or throwing my bait net. So I can look for balls of bait fish before I go out, and I can throw the net and catch my bait fish while looking at the live scope on my chest. And the reason it doesn't work is I don't think the Wi-Fi signal in this Garmin can catch my bait fish while looking at the live strong enough to even keep it connected. It's kind of sad, but so I don't know if I need some kind of a booster. So in order for that to work, it's getting to be too complicated anyway. For that to work, I've got to have my phone Wi-Fi'd to the chart plotter, and then I also have to have, I've got a Hollyland transmitter and receiver that's supposed to be good up to 1,300 feet. So I put it in my life jacket. I've got a battery that I put in there, and then I got the Hollyland transmitter that goes in there, and then that's tethered to my phone. And then that transmitter sends back to the Hollyland receiver, which is right here. So the transmitter looks just like this receiver, and it's down below today because and that seems to have trouble staying connected also. So I'm losing connection when I'm up on the bow, and I think it's for 2 different reasons. Okay, I gotta there we go. I wrap this rope around this line around the winch, then I go around this cleat, and then I go around this cleat, and it's the whole idea is to keep it away from checkers, so we're not disturbing his nap time.